All right, guys, this is the Facebook compliance video. So I want to make sure that we all understand the terms of service so that no one gets into any trouble. Let's hop into it.
All right, guys, so it's time to talk compliance. So, this is really important to discuss before we get into the nitty gritty of how to run Facebook ads, because I want to make sure that you know how to follow the rules. Now, this is really important not only because you want your ads to be approved, you want Facebook to say, yes, you can run that ad, but you also don't want to put your ad account at risk. So, something that's really unfortunate with Facebook advertising is that because they don't really have the infrastructure to support each advertiser, there are so many of us and there's so much gray area when it comes to this stuff. Usually, if you really break a rule or if a lot of your ads are getting disapproved, your ad account can be deactivated. And if your ad account is deactivated, you're banned or whatever you want to call it, the first thing that you need to do is to appeal that to Facebook. So you would get a notice inside of Ads Manager and you would just need to appeal to Facebook, tell them you're sorry, see if there's anything you can do to get that turned back on. And if you can't, then you need to create a new ad account. So anyways, I just want to make sure that you guys understand why this is so important, right? It's not just that we need to cover the rules. I want to make sure that your all's ad account stays safe. So in order to show you the most up-to-date information on Facebook policies, I'm actually going to pull up the advertising policies. This is something that I recommend you review at least once a month as an advertiser. I always go back at the beginning of the month and review these because they're constantly changing. So I'm going to scroll through here and hit the highlights for you guys. Facebook obviously is making updates and changes to these at all times. And recently they've added common points of confusion, which is great. And these are a few things that people get stuck up on. Personal attributes, sexually suggestive content, and Facebook's brands. So we'll cover that a bit in a minute. But just so you understand the review process, right? When they're reviewing the ad, they're looking at your ad's images, text, targeting, positioning, in addition to the content on your landing page. So your ad may not be approved if the landing page content isn't fully functional, right? If stuff doesn't work, doesn't match the product or service promoted, ad sent, or doesn't fully comply with our ad policies. So they're reviewing the ad and the landing page. And they say after your ad has been reviewed, you'll receive a notification letting you know whether your advert has been approved. If it's been approved, we'll start running your ad and you'll be able to see results in Ads Manager. This is also pretty new, steps to take if it's disapproved. So now Facebook's actually sending an email, which a lot of us probably aren't getting because it's not our work email, but they're sending an email to the address associated with your account. And they're letting you know if it isn't approved, right? And if it's not approved, they're going to actually tell you why, which is fascinating, right? Usually when something's disapproved, it'll say, too much text or, violates our policies, but you don't know what part of the ad copy actually caused that, right? So they're letting us know here, which is amazing. And based off of that information, you can then edit and resubmit a compliant version. And they have some editing steps here. So this is really great in terms of Facebook coming out and giving us steps to take so that we actually know what to do when something is disapproved. And you can always appeal decisions, which is great also. Okay, let's quickly cover prohibited content because there are some markets that are not allowed on Facebook, and there are some markets that are more of gray areas. Right? And I'm not going to go through each of these, but Facebook doesn't want you to harass or discriminate anyone, right? No illegal products, right? That would be against the law. No tobacco, no drugs, no unsafe supplements. So if you are selling supplements, it needs to be sold to people over the age of 18 also. No weapons, explosives, no adult services or adult content, sensational content, especially anything that seems like fake news. They do not want that. So sensational is anything that's shocking or crazy. So you wouldn't want to use a picture of a car crash, right, in your ad image to catch people's attention. That's way too sensational. And then personal attributes. So this is very, very important. And this is the reason that I try not to use the word you very often in ad copy, because it can look like you are trying to speak to someone's personal attributes. So Facebook says ads must not contain content that assert or imply personal attributes. This includes direct or indirect assertions of implications about a person's race, ethnic origin, religion, beliefs, age, sexual orientation or practices, gender, disability, medical condition, financial status, membership in a trade union, criminal record, or name. And basically, Facebook doesn't want Facebook users, end users, not us as marketers, people that are, using Facebook every day. They don't want them to feel called out by data that they have given to Facebook that is very personal to them. Right? So Facebook doesn't want to make anyone really feel called out, period. It's why we really sway away from using the word you. But especially when it comes to something personal, right? And this could be weight or their, fitness ability, or really anything that is a personal attribute to that human. We have to make sure we are not speaking to that in our ads, right? So we wouldn't want to say having trouble with your finances, we can help, right? We wouldn't want to say, struggling with your disability, right? We don't want someone on Facebook to feel called out for a personal attribute. This is very, very important. Non-functional landing page. This can definitely get you disapproved, especially if there's no navigation, right? If your buttons aren't working, if there's nowhere for someone to go, if there's a mistake and your page is, some reason it's not working, Facebook's going to disapprove because they want this to be a solid experience. Grammar. So this is interesting, but it looks like Facebook's starting to monitor bad grammar and punctuation. So it even says symbols, numbers, and letters must be used properly without the intention of circumventing our ad review process. So you want to make sure that you're being very careful. You don't want to try to get a cuss word in an ad by changing, numbers where there should be letters. But this does matter. They want high quality ads on their platform. Non-existent functionality. This means you can't have anything like a video button on your ad when there's not really a video. Personal health. This is really important for anyone in the health space. So ads must not contain before and after images or images that contain unexpected or unlikely results. Ad content must not imply or attempt to generate negative self-perception in order to promote diet, weight loss, or other health-related products. So if you're in the health and fitness market, you can run ads on Facebook. You just can't use before and after pictures. You can't use language that makes someone feel like they're less than because they're not, in the best physical state or they're not, in the best place with their diet. So just being very careful with these before and after images and with your languages and the promises you make, right? You never want to promise that you can get a certain amount of results in a certain amount of time, right? Alrighty, we'll keep scrolling through here. MLM, note that. Most of these aren't as applicable to everyone, but again, very, very interesting. I mean, sale of a body part, not sure why that has to be there, but make sure we're always going back and reviewing these. So these are restricted industries, just in case you're thinking about getting involved in one of these industries: alcohol, dating, real money gambling, regional lotteries, online pharmacies, supplements, unless you're targeting people over the age of 18, a subscription service, anything that include negative options, automatic renewal, free to pay conversion billing products. So that basically they don't want you forcing people into continuity products. Most of these don't apply either. But again, please go back and review these: drug and alcohol addiction treatment, weight loss products and plans. So we need to position those as fitness plans, not weight loss plans, right? So we've got a section on video ads here to review if you're running video ads. For targeting, you must not use targeting options to discriminate against, harass, provoke, or disparage users, or to engage in predatory advertising practices. So basically, again, back to the personal attributes. Positioning, relevance, accuracy, and related landing pages. So all ad components must be relevant and appropriate to the product, right? So they don't want you to have a picture of a cat, right, and be selling a tripod, right? It doesn't work well, and it's just not relevant. You must be accurate, right? You can't be lying to people, and your landing page must actually relate to the ad. So this is all about AdSense, especially. So text and image ads. Excessive text and ad images may result in your ad reaching fewer people or not running at all. So even though they don't directly talk about the 20% text rule anymore, that's still what I go by to make sure that I'm not using too much text. Just making sure that there's no more than 20% of my ad image is text. There's some information here on lead ads, if that's something that you're going to use. Use of their brand assets. So if you're promoting anything around Facebook, right, you need to make sure that you read these and that you're not using, the wrong version of their logo, or you're not using Facebook or Instagram in a way that they don't want it to be used. Very, very important. They have a section here about data use restrictions that they added after the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Don't transfer any Facebook advertising data, right? Really, really important. And then they just have a things to know section here that would definitely be worth a read. But again, guys, stay up to date on these. Please read these every month. And I just wanted to make sure we went through these before we went into the nitty gritty of Facebook, because I just want to make sure everyone's following the rules and that everyone starts out on the correct foot, so that we don't have any ad account trouble. So make sure that you're staying positive in your advertising. That's what Facebook wants. Make sure you're not calling people out by personal attributes. Make sure that you're not promoting anything that's prohibited by Facebook. And again, just make sure you're staying up to date on these. All right, guys, this was all about Facebook compliance, and we will see you in the next video.